Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Ava impersonates Goldman to trick Clyde. Harris races to help casualty. Days of Our Lives reveals that Ava Vitale and Lucas Horton could pry Clyde Weston's position out of Rebecca Goldman, who was bound and gagged in the motel room. Ava eventually decided she should just get vengeance since Goldman nearly bring Trip Johnson, Lucas Adams, his life. Although Ava held a gun on Goldman, Lucas induced her to put it down since he didn't want to be an accessory and extend his captivity judgment. Ava set up Goldman's phone in the glove cube of her auto soon after, so she looked at Clyde's textbooks for suggestions. Lucas helped Ava figure out that Clyde was at the Happy Camper campground hard, so Ava took Goldman's outfit and left Lucas to babysit her. At the cantina. On Day's occasion, Kate Roberts Brady called the friary to check on Lucas and learned that a blue-eyed man with a tattoo came to get him. Kate knew that had to be Harris Michaels and fumed over him potentially putting Lucas in further peril. Once Kate eventually got Lucas on the phone, he admitted they were closing in on Clyde and tried to assure his mama that it'd each work out. Meanwhile, Harris tried to move Snake to cut a deal and flip on Clyde, but he refused to be a rat. After Harris seized Snake's phone and did some probing about the position, he released Snake had made frequent passages to the Happy Trailer hutment. Back with Ava on Tuesday's DOL show, she showed up at the campground wearing Goldman's clothes. Ava's reverse was turned, so Clyde was wisecracked and allowed. Goldman was back to leave city with him. Rather, Ava eventually revealed herself and drew her armament before admitting she planned to take Clyde out permanently. Suddenly, Harris contended over and stopped Ava from pulling the detector. Back in Salem on Day's occasion, Kayla Johnson respected Sarah Horton's engagement ring and wished her the stylish in her remarriage to Xander Cook, though she easily had some particular dubieties about their future together. Xander understood those enterprises, but he assured Kayla that he was only concentrated on being a good hubby and father now. After Kayla left on Tuesday's Day's occasion, Sarah mentioned the idea of inviting Xander's mama to the marriage, but he argued that she was an unashamed drunk who'd be hard to find. Sarah claimed she could track Xander's mama down, but she refused to do it without his blessing. Xander eventually conceded, but he reserved the right to say "I told you so" if this was an enormous disaster like he easily anticipated. Once Xander gave Sarah the last given number for his mama, she was pleased and hoped to detect her before the espousal. At Steve Johnson's apartment, Chad DiMera demanded Clyde updates and said about the hunt was hotting up in Montana, so he claimed on taking the trip with Steve. Kayla showed up right as Steve and Chad were leaving, so she expostulated to the trip. Once Chad headed to the airport to prepare for the DiMera spurt, Steve got an earful from Kayla. Kayla scolded Steve for trying to leave for Montana without telling her and came terrified over him potentially trying to help Ava wipe Clyde off the chart. After Kayla refused to lose Steve again, she angrily stood against this dangerous situation and prayed him not to go. Steve agreed to stay in Salem right before Chad texted with the news that he took off for Montana without him. Days of Our Lives say Clyde will make some prognostications and admissions that Chad no way saw coming soon enough. Clyde trades Abby info to save own life, Chad's stunned response. Riddle firing victim revealed, Maggie and Constantine's marriage ends with a bang. Days of Our Lives reveal that Maggie Kyriakis will make Constantine Meliunis suppose they going to say their marriage promises, but she'll actually be soliciting him right into her trap. Day suckers know Maggie set Constantine up for embezzlement, so she may get evidence that he's taken the bait and prepare for his brewing arrest. This will surely be a marriage form to flash back in further ways than one. John Black and Steve Johnson will be at the espousal to help with Constantine's takedown, but Day spoilers say effects will take a dangerous turn soon enough. On June 10th, Maggie and Constantine's marriage will affect in a riddle firing victim, so that presumably means the thriller on the June 7th occasion will set the stage for that. Day spoilers also point to Constantine making a disturbing concession and offering up a puzzling warning as his DOL exit draws near. That's led to some enterprise that Constantine might take a fatal pellet and blurt all that out before he takes his last breath, but there's another option to consider. Several months agone. Stephen Nichols posted a before-the-scenes videotape that featured him on the sanitarium set in a bloody dress shirt, just like the dress shirt Steve will be wearing at the marriage. Will Steve be the bone? Who gets shot rather? In that case, Constantine might partake some final cryptic words as he's transported off to captivity and bind. Of course, it's also possible Steve will remain unharmed and simply get some of Constantine's blood on him during one last showdown. Anyhow, it makes sense that Constantine and Steve might end up in a struggle over a gun that eventually goes off. It doesn't feel like there's any need to fret over John's fate since Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, will be busy with other cases during the week of June 10th to 14th. Since Marlena wouldn't be fussing over any news related to John, that putatively confirms he wouldn't be the bone. Who goes down due to this marriage bang? That said, Steve could fluently intermediate and save John's life, putting his own life at threat in the process. Days of Our Lives say Constantine and Maggie's form will turn chaotic no matter what, so stick with us for further prognostications on the marriage day drama and updates on the fate. Lindsay Godfrey opens up about some of Sarah Horton's changes still. You more believe that it was Sarah Horton, if there's one person who has gone through quite the metamorphosis in this fictional city of Salem. Days of Our Lives star Lindsay Godfrey, who plays the character on the show, lately spoke to Soap Opera Digest about Sarah's transitioning time in Salem and what it means for her to be nominated for Outstanding Supporting Actress at this time's Day Emmy Awards. Keep reading below for everything you need to know. Days of Our Lives star Lindsay Godfrey opens up about some of Sarah Horton's changes when asked how she felt about being nominated again. Lindsay told the publication, "It's been a while. I haven't submitted in a many times, but I got a little pure dragooned. Tamara Braun, Ava, also nominated this time, gave me a phone call. She generally does give me phone calls, and I generally say, no, I don't want to do it. I don't feel like it. This time she called, and she was like, you have to." And Paul, Telfer, Xander, had also been like, you have to this time. Sarah was also asked which scenes she submitted for consideration this time. She explained, I went with one occasion, because of the experience of rephotographing it and what it felt like. It's the occasion where Xander confronts Sarah about lying about the baby and the maternity of their child. He's like, why would you do that? And it's her principally saying, then's why I did it. I am not saying I am right, but then's why. I just loved that. Neither of them were right. Days of Our Lives spoilers. What's next for Sarah Horton? The talented actress continued, both of them were terribly wrong. Sarah just explained, this is why I did this really bad thing. It's bad, and I understand it, but then's why. It's because you re bad. I suppose the reason I loved the occasion is that I've been veritably defensive about Sarah's relationship with Xander. I suppose that Sarah and Xander have commodity so special. So, of course, it was going to be scenes between them and it was going to be commodity monstrously emotional. I loved the way those scenes felt when Paul and I performed them. We were veritably careful about how the scenes were going to go. We wanted them to be in control. We didn't want them losing it and screaming at each other, because, at the end of the day, they were just frenetic that they can't be together. Days of Our Lives airs on the Peacock network. Suckers will simply have to tune in each and every day to find out what will be coming.